The one and only Bun Bo Hue. Bun is round rice noodle, Bo is beef, and Hue is the city that it comes from. So this was the soup that was originally created for the king. It's a royal dish, and it's badass. Let me show you how to do it. We're starting with the bone broth, and then we're gonna clean the bones just by blanching them very quickly. Well, not super quickly, it's about 15 minutes. We're gonna use about 2 pounds of bones for every gallon of water. You can use that in whatever ratio or measurement you want. All right, so timer's up. We're gonna remove the bones from the water. So now I'm just washing the bones themselves. You can do this right under your tap. You don't have to use a bucket like this. I'm just doing this for an example for you. Any scum that I see, anything that looks like coagulated blood or anything too brown, usually it forms right around the inside of the bone and at the edges. Be careful, there may be some really sharp pieces on this bone. And the bones are going back into a clean pot with new water. Low heat and simmer for 8 hours. You could also do it in the pressure cooker for 2 or 3 hours. I'm gonna treat the pork bones with a pork trotter the same way I would do the beef bones, where I just blanch them and wash them. Since these are small, I'm just gonna blanch them for about 3 minutes. At this point, the bones have been cooking for about 10 hours now. I'm gonna fortify the flavor with some beef shank and some pork trotter. If you don't wanna use the pork bones, you don't have to. Some people just use beef. Most do use pork, however. And people use pork trotter because they eat it, but if you're not gonna eat the pork trotter, you can just use pork bones. All right, so we're gonna simmer this for about another 2 hours until the meat is as tender as you like. The pork trotter, some people prefer it to be a little bit more chewy. Some people prefer it to be very soft. I'm definitely more in the very soft camp. Now for the Mam Ruoc. This is one of the key flavorings to the soup. I just wanna take the Mam Ruoc, add some to a container. Best to do this in a clear sided container and something that's tall. And I'm gonna add some water to it as well. Oh my God, that was scary. And just mix it up. So the Mam Ruoc is key. Without Mam Ruoc, it's not bun bo. You need to have it. In Vietnam, there are 2 kinds of shrimp paste. There's Mam Tom and Mam Ruoc. So they are different. So if you do make this, make sure you find the correct one. You can add the Mam Ruoc straight to the soup, but if you want it to be more refined and a clearer broth, we do this method. Once the Mam Ruoc is mixed with the water, it needs to sit and to allow the sediment to sink. This takes a while, so do this right when you put the meat in and give it at least 30 minutes, maybe an hour to settle. Now there are many reasons why I think Bun Bo Hue is just an elite level soup, one of the best in the world. Besides for the very unique and complex flavor, it's the textural contrast. There is so much contrast in Bun Bo. 2 of the biggest reasons for that contrast are these guys right here. Banana flower or banana blossom and water spinach, aka morning glory. These 2 vegetables are commonly served in Bun Bo in Saigon in the south, but not commonly served in Bun Bo in Hue, where the soup comes from, and not commonly served in Bun Bo from other parts of the region as well. And in my view, the best Bun Bo Hue comes from Saigon. I'm sure a lot of people disagree. Unfortunately for us though, both of these are extremely annoying to prep, so let me show you how we do it. All right, so first I'm gonna go ahead and clean the raumon, and that's like pulling off all these little tiny leaves, and I'm looking for the stem here. I'm not gonna tell you this is fast, but it's not hard. The leaves are totally edible. You can eat them. They're never used in this soup, but if you don't feel like going through this process, I guess you could eat them. And in Vietnam, this vegetable is extremely cheap, but I know in America it's $6 or $7 a pound, so maybe you want to be more careful about what you're wasting. This I'm just going to feed to the rabbit, so it's no big deal for us. We have 3 different methods to handle these stems. You can cut them with a knife, cut them in half, and just try to shred them. This is the absolute worst. That totally sucks. You can use a peeler. It's like a Western style peeler. This is okay. Relatively acceptable. You can use a Vietnamese style peeler. Same idea. This I don't like either. And then the best option is there's this little gadget thing, which you can buy online or at a lot of Asian grocery stores. Has a lot of little knives up there and a stem. And with that, put the needle in the hole and you just push it through. Then you can grab it and kind of pull it. The women at the market, they use the peeler no problem, but I haven't practiced enough. So this is my cheat code that works well. Okay, next, the banana flour. I have some water here. I'm gonna put a lot of vinegar in it. This banana flour will turn brown very quickly, so this has to be very acidic. You can use white vinegar, you can use lemon, whatever. The outer layer of the banana flour, I'm gonna remove. And you can just cut the bottom to help peel the petals off. Now the flour here is really tight. The petals look younger. This tip here is still a little bit of the older, so I'm just gonna cut that off. I've always done this with a mandolin. I saw my mother-in-law use this thing the other day, so I'm gonna see how that works out for me. Oh, I see. Oh, that's cool. So basically this is just like a hand mandolin. If you didn't have this thing, you could totally just use a mandolin, you know, just like that style. Or if you didn't have a mandolin, you could use a knife. You're just trying to cut it as thin as you can. But I think I like this peeler thing. This is cool. I never used this before. All right, now we gotta wash it. You can see it's very sticky. All right, so now I'm just gonna put a strainer on top of this and run some water under here and get all these little particles out of here. I'll just do this as many times as needed to get all that little pieces out. All right, so now I have my water spinach, my banana flour, and I have some bean sprout as well, all washed, ready to go. And this is gonna be my main vegetable component, so it's done. Luckily for us in Vietnam, you can buy the water spinach and the banana flour already shaved at the market, readily available and very cheap. But if you do this at home, that's how you do it. It does take you a while. So this took me about an hour. So that's a perfect amount of time. Now we can go season the soup. So first I'm gonna skim off some of this fat. Now I'm definitely saving this. I'm not gonna throw this away. I'll use this. And I'm not concerned about getting all the fat out. I'm okay with some fat, no problem. Now I'm gonna remove all the big marrow bones. Now I could just pick this whole thing up and strain it, or I could just use a little hand strainer and go like this. It's up to you. I mean, you'll get a clear broth if you pick up the whole thing and strain it, especially through a large sieve like this, and then through a chinois if you really want to make it nice. This will work. And you can see I still have some fat in there. That's fine. I'm cool with that. And then I can go ahead if I want to get even more and use this little finer strainer to get more particles out. And now to season it, we're gonna go pineapple. We're gonna go a whole bunch of lemongrass. I'm adding the onion, the rock sugar, and the MSG. All right, so this is gonna go for like an hour. So at this point, I'm gonna pull out the beef, put this directly into some ice water. So now I'm gonna add fish sauce. So this has been sitting for about 30 minutes. You can see how the sediment has settled. This separated Mam Ruoc water, which I'm gonna carefully pour. Once the sediment comes up, I'll stop pouring. And the Sate. This is good. Give this a couple more minutes and it's gonna be ready. Let's get all the meat and garnishes ready next. So with the beef shank, I'm just gonna remove the tendon and I'm gonna put that back in the pot of soup. Remaining shank, I'm just gonna cut it as thin as I possibly can. So this is pork blood or blood cake, or there's other names for it. Not every vendor will serve it with this, but it's common and it's good, so I'm in. And I'm just gonna cut this into cubes. Of course, if you're not into this, don't do it. But it's got a lot of iron. So I'm just gonna add the blood to the soup. So now we're gonna do the finishing onion mix, which is onion, cilantro, green onion, and ra rum, or zazum, or Vietnamese mint, or laksa herb, I think is the other name for it. So I'll just cut all these up thinly and then we'll toss them together. If you can't find ra rum or Vietnamese mint, that's fine. Don't worry about it. It's good though. And the onion, I'm just gonna cut as thin as I can. All this gets tossed together. We're gonna need a lime and some finely minced chili, whatever kind you like. You can just keep it whole and nibble on them, whatever you want. So I have two different kinds here. I'm just gonna mix them. We're also gonna need a side of this satay and a side of this Mam Ruoc. To assemble our side plate, we're gonna have some bean sprout, some banana flour, and some of that ramon, or the water spinach. A wedge of lime, some Thai basil, and some ra rum. To assemble this, we're gonna take some of our bun, our fresh round rice noodle. This is the bun lun, the bigger size. You can use either, but I definitely prefer this. I like it much better. Dip that in hot water for a few seconds, and then we're gonna put that in our bowl. I don't have a big enough bowl, so I'm gonna use this pot here. Pretty much every single bowl of bun bo is gonna come with some sort of jia, some sort of pork sausage. So I have this kind here. This is called jia hue. This is comes in banana leaf and it's steamed, and I'm just gonna heat that up for a second. One thing that a lot of people do with their side vegetable is they ask for it rau tron. They ask for it to be dipped in hot water. But the water spinach is kind of a tougher vegetable, and so is banana flour. So if you ask, you can get that dipped in the hot water, and I do prefer that. We'll just dip that in the water for a second. So every time I go to a bun bo restaurant, I always ask for a rau tron. From here, we're gonna take some of our beef shank and lay it in. A piece of our blood, a piece of the pork chowder. Give it a big handful of our onion mix. So here it is in all its glory. How do we eat this thing? Well, we can add all of our vegetable inside. So this one's already been thrown. This one's already been dipped in the hot water. Or you can add as much as you want. I like it. I put more vegetable in. Add some of the fresh herbs, some of the more ra rum, some of the Thai basil. Put a lime if you want it. If you like chili, I do some chili. You can always add more. Let's taste it. Give it a mix. It's the best. There's nothing like it, man. I'm gonna talk to you in a little bit. Give me a couple minutes here. I'm gonna put a little bit more Mam Ruoc inside to give it a little more deepness, a little funkiness. This broth is so good and just so darn interesting. There's so much going on in it. Bun Bo Hue is served differently throughout the country, but for me, no doubt, the best version of it is this style, Saigon style. The texture of the big noodle with the shreds of the chewy vegetable in there, it's fudging good. It's fudging the best. I know I made this video to tell you about Bun Bo Hue. Once I start eating this, I don't want to talk right now. It's really good. And texturally, there's just so much going on. It does not get boring halfway through at all. There's the trotter too. And see, I like the pork trotter, really tender like that. I know pho is good,
A lot of people love it. It helped to introduce me into Vietnamese cuisine. I know it introduced a lot of people into Vietnamese cuisine. But it's time that everybody who knows about pho knows about Bun Bo Hue. Because to me, this is the dish that people should know about and be waiting for hours to eat a good bowl or make their own. If you're gonna go for this at home, and I hope you do, the Mam Ruoc, the shrimp paste, is easy to find online, so you can totally get that, or at an Asian supermarket. The hard part is the banana flour and the water spinach. You can find that in Asian grocery stores, you can find it at Indian supermarkets. Other than that, it's hard. And if you don't even want to tackle that just because of the prep that's involved, you can substitute it with shredded cabbage and shredded like green leaf lettuce, bean sprouts. I'm not gonna lie to you, it's not as good. It is a substitute, it does work. You still get the broth, but I really encourage you to hopefully maybe get some friends and figure this out, make it happen one day. To me, this is the best there is. This is the soup. If you can make grilled cheese, you can make, it's a little harder than grilled cheese.